had full intention in filming all weekend long. It is now Sunday and I have filmed absolutely nothing. But yesterday I started off my day filming a little bit, and then I went out with Yara and she had a total meltdown, and then I had a total meltdown. So here we are. Saturn has officially, or is in transit right now, returning to Aries, where it will remain for the next few years. And my Saturn is in Aries, and I have been feeling a lot of shifts and desires and needs to change my life in such drastic ways, and it makes me very emotional to think about, because that is where I've been the last few weeks, months. Yeah, I've been in a really dark, depressive loop, and I've been really struggling to pull myself out of it. And I think I just have this like impending doom feeling that like this big clock is like ticking, and I have an end date and I'm not achieving things that I told myself I would achieve, and I'm like, I just feel like I'm going to die so deeply unsatisfied with what I've accomplished in life. I appreciate that that is an incredibly dark and like morbid thought, but yeah, I just feel like I'm constantly up against like a race clock, and I'm never ever ever accomplishing the things that I want to. And I'm so totally absorbed by all these things in life that are happening that I'm never getting the opportunity to feel like fulfilled ever. And it's like really exhausting, and I think for the first time it's like this intensive like need to make a shift. I don't know what that means, but I cannot like keep living this way. And yeah, I need to also release this need to be someone in my 20s. I think when I look back at my 20s, I think society makes it seem like your 20s are the years where you're expected to like live your life to your fullest and do all these things, and a large portion of my 20s has been consumed with pregnancy and postpartum and motherhood, which I feel so deeply connected to. But I think at times I got so soaked up into that I forgot to just be a girl and be a woman discovering herself. And also a large portion of my early 20s I was deep in like addiction and depression. So I feel like coming out of this other end for the first time sober and like aware that there is something greater to life, and without this like need to want to die all the time, has been kind of emotional, because I'm like, what have I been doing my whole life? And that then brings me back to just thinking about the past, so then gets me depressed again, because all we know, your thoughts cause feelings, which cause more thoughts, which then cause more feelings. And so I've just been kind of soaked up in that. And that's where I've been. So I'm gonna try and pull myself out of it, try and attempt to bring myself to my happy self, creative self again, with intentions of changing my life in a way where I wake up every day and I'm so incredibly and immensely proud of everything that I am achieving.
Some precious hellos, on window watch until you come back home, and in the midst of all my sorrows, I'll have you. But I try to disguise myself as something new, forget about my worries, how my days are gloom. I put a smile on my face, 'cause I'll have you. But it's hard to forget that the love once there was shattered by infatuation. I swear I hate to
It's snowing, and I can't believe I was depressed a second ago. Yara! Do you see the snowman? Look at this.
Like I always do.
Oh my gosh, go say hi to the snowman.
It's not a matter of what a simple anecdote, it's how I cope, pretending everything's fine when it's shattered my mind. The world I created now cluttered
chilly it is out here in New York right now. I think the one good thing about having a child, like when you are going through a depressive rut, there's good and bad, obviously, but the good is like just recognizing the beauty in the small things. Like, I just have so much to be grateful for today. This is insane though. I'm actually so amazed with what is happening right now. It's been so gloomy for so long. Yara!
I'll pretend it's not true, but I'll still give you sweet goodbye.
After I filmed my little snippet about how I was feeling, we got some pretty intense news about a passing of someone that was incredibly close to Corey, and it was very sad just watching a person that you love mourn somebody and feel so helpless and angry and move through the emotions of grief. It was really heartbreaking. I think it was my first time experiencing a very sudden death, other than from like when I was a kid. I had experienced that before, but not in my years to be able to digest it more thoroughly. And I think this is the first time I've come to that realization of how impermanent life is. Which has been kind of tough because the whole way I was feeling the day of this obviously happened was this like impending doom of like I haven't achieved enough, and then so for someone to die at such a unexpected way and so quick at our age was like a very intense reminder of the fact that I could literally lose anyone around me in a matter of seconds at any point, and that feeling has been hard to get over. I think naturally also you just start to go into this like spiritual questioning of like, why would they take somebody? Like, it just doesn't make sense, and that's where the anger and things stem from, so you have to like release a lot of that. But I think this realization of the impermanence of anything is what's been heavily with me recently, and it's been hard to shake off, hard to feel excited about things. So I am really trying to release a lot of the limitations that I hold to myself of like why I don't post, why I don't talk, why I don't do certain things. And it's had me really come to a lot of physical realizations. And one of the realizations I recently had is just my obsession with, I think, feeling sad and with being in a depressive state. I have spent so much of my life in this state. It is a state that I feel most creative in because it allows me to just endlessly feel the need to share emotions, to create music. I find it so much easier to pull creative ideas from a dark place than I do from a happy place. So I think I feel more at myself when I'm sad because I'm more creative, which I obviously attribute my sense of self to. But the other piece is like, there's a level of comfort that I get from my sadness. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like I hate it, obviously, but for some reason my body is so addicted to it. This feeling of like gloom. And I think because I've trained my mind to feel like this is its comfort level. And so breaking free of that, breaking free of this emotion, of this way of being, like breaking free of like listening to certain music, like digesting and intaking certain information or watching things online, like I can get very absorbed in this negativity bubble, and it like kind of consumes me, and I stay there for a long time unless I actively encourage myself to step out of my comfort zone, which is being happy, which I just haven't been since I've been a child. And so I'm really trying to encourage myself to pull myself out of it and try and create even on the days where I'm happy. And art has actually been the easiest thing for me to do because the only time I've ever actually drawn is when I've been happy. So thankfully that's been like a big release for me, is to create very colorful art, and it feels like it brightens up my day. But yeah, I'm trying to release this obsession with depression. It is so hard. I think it's something that people who haven't been chronically depressed don't talk about very often, of like this desire to be sad. It's like when I'm happy, I feel uncomfortable. I'm like, why am I here? Like, I want to be sad. It's so strange. I don't know why feeling nothing sometimes feels more comforting than feeling joy. Yeah, it's been a lot to process, this emotion, and like, how do I pull myself out of it? How do I keep going? And then we obviously had this death happen, and I was like, what do I even have to be sad about? Like, I have my life. That is the greatest gift. I have the ability to live right now. Like, I literally have no reason to be upset with life when some people don't even get the opportunity to live beyond this point. And I bully myself into like, why are you sad? You're not allowed to be sad. Anyway, not to make this whole freaking video very depressing, but that's kind of where I'm at. Luckily, having a child is a greatest gift because they refuse to allow you to be stuck in it because you have to be happy for them. They give you the gift of presence. I've talked about this so many times, so I'm very excited to kind of continue this journey with her and have that be my reason. But I want to find a reason for me beyond my child.
I just first of all want to say thank you so much to Ben. Absolutely incredible, and I could not be more happy to be with any other people. Like, I'm so grateful to be with you. Thank you so much.
She said, "Hello, oh, I'm window watching till you come back home, and in the midst of all my sorrows, I'll have you." But it's hard to forget that the love once there was shattered by infatuation. I swear I hate to admit that it still leaves a trace on my heart. But I try to disguise myself as something new. Forget about the worries, how my days are gloom. I put a smile on my face, 'cause I love you. I love you. Oh, 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 oh.
You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese high in the clean blue air are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things.
It felt like a really dark and sad vlog so far. I appreciate that this whole video is like me pulling myself out of a rut, and that's kind of the purpose of why I'm filming this, and kind of the different things and emotions and things that have been on my soul and on my heart, which has been rough. I feel like entering the winter season was really tough for me, and then obviously with everything going on, I haven't really had the chance to film. I think a lot of what makes me feel uninclined to film is the repetitiveness of my life, and I think that's why I really started filming more so just inspirational things that I've learned along the way. And I've realized that I need to get over that little fear, because I also watch other YouTubers and all they do is the same thing all the time, and they're just sharing their thoughts and opinions over similar shots and similar scenic views, and I love it. So what's the difference? Anyway, so I wanted to just give you guys some insight into the little things that I've bought myself recently that have been really supporting my anxiety, because I think I've just been really overwhelmed and very stressed, and I needed an outlet for many of the thoughts. And these things have been really helpful. I bought this. It's called an ouchie. I actually love it. Oh my gosh. I broke it. But yeah, this thing, it's fabulous. Oh my god. See? I love it. It's like the right level of pain. So like when I'm anxious, it really helps me out. Another thing that I got is some earplugs. I've been so focused on always trying to hide the need to regulate myself that I never looked into things that I could actually just support me. And this has been really helpful. Also, to just cancel out the noise of toddlerhood sometimes and being able to focus. Not that I want to not hear her, but more so just when I'm feeling overwhelmed, having the capacity to put something in my ear and still be present and co-regulate my toddler without feeling overwhelmed myself. Got some new books. I'm so excited to read these books. You have no idea. I've been needing new books. I actually am quite proud of myself. I feel like I didn't accomplish a lot last year, and then when I was reflecting back, I realized that I had read 15 books. 15! That's the most books I've read in a while outside of college, and I feel really proud of myself for that. And I want to go back into this year with a similar or more number, because I've realized how much joy it brought me. And it made me also realize why recently I think I've fallen back into a little bit of a depressive loop, is because I wasn't reading and I wasn't going to my philosophy classes. And for me, learning just helps me get out of a rut.
Go stay with mama. What the heck?
Dishes pot in the sink. Empty pocket.
officially New Year. It's such a weird time. I think I was like speaking of this, or I attempted to film like my thoughts and opinion on it a second ago, like the other night when I was with Yara, but then she woke up and it's what do you need help with? Here's the fit. Don't mind my messy room. I really love dressing like a grandma. It's like my favorite thing in the world. Anyway. And stripes are like my new favorite thing.
The best teacher to wake you up is Mother Earth. The best teacher is the water, the trees, the wind. To look outside and say, this is real. This is real. Without this, you can't live. That's when your true religion starts, because we're intertwined together. You know, we need them as much as, you know, they need us. But with respect. We work together. We help each other. So I just say that to the people out there. You already have it. You don't have to look for it.
I started off the end of last year talking a lot about just the depths and the darkness that I've been in, the fears, the impermanence of life through the passing of Corey's friend. And there's been lots of different feelings and emotions that have been evoked within me, from fear to anxiety to anger to sadness. And I realized how much I get consumed by my mind when I'm not creating. And it just re-emphasizes the opinions that I have around art and the importance of art in life, and how stripped of it as a society we have become. Almost how it is encouraged to not delve into that. Like, typically why artists are seen as like free thinkers and stuff like that is because I feel like today's world and society doesn't want us to engage in art as much as we actively do, because of the, I think, sense of peace that it brings us. I think the Guna, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, talked a lot about different energies that humans are in, and they talked about three main energies that we live in, and it's either Rajas, Sattva, or I can't remember the third. Regardless, I think for the most part, society, and especially living in New York, wants us to be stuck in this Rajas energy, which is moving and going, and it's a lot around being stressed and being eager to move to the next step, thinking about the future, thinking about the past, holding on to a lot of things, not having the capacity to be still, for your mind to be still, for your mind to be calm. And I realized why I get so totally consumed by my mind when I'm in this world and get consumed in this world and don't allow myself to be an artist. It's because I'm stuck in that energy. I'm not in sattvic energy. Sattvic energy is being totally present in the current moment. And I've realized the only times where I'm like totally present in the current moment is when I'm consuming and producing art, and being very mindful of the art that I am consuming and making sure that it aligns obviously with where I want to go and who I want to be, where it expands my knowledge instead of restricts it, you know. And so I've been producing a lot of art again, and ensuring that I'm taking in as much knowledge and wisdom as possible instead of like brain rot content. And I've actually already read, I'm on my second book this year already, and it is the second week of January, which I'm like super psyched about. One of the books that I'm currently reading is The Wisdom of Florence Scovel Shinn, her 4 complete books. I love it, and I believe in a lot of the concepts and everything that is shared within it. I think just the time in which it was written, obviously. I think it is deeply rooted and connected to Christianity, which is not something that I necessarily feel deeply connected to. And so a lot of reference is to God and Jesus in the Bible. But I think the messaging behind it is beautiful and wonderful, and it's something that I definitely, truly believe in, especially around the power of the spoken word, because I do think our words can impact how we see the world, and I think our external world is a direct reflection of our internal monologue, and we get what we vibe in the sense of like, how could we possibly welcome in opportunities that we desire if we don't feel currently aligned to those opportunities? They'll never be there. Like, you know, how could you possibly welcome in loving and fun friendships when you are stuck in a unloving, unfun mindset? Unloving people don't want to be around someone that isn't loving. And I think like you get what you give. And I think it's been, from that standpoint, a nice reminder that I need to be more mindful of the monologue that I'm using, both externally but also internally to myself, and how I communicate with myself, because I think it is negatively affecting the world around me. And that's how I get kind of sucked up into this loop, because I'm speaking of how dark and grim the life is, that I'm not seeing what's beautiful in the world. And it's quite funny because every time when I hang out with my kid and I'm having to be totally present, I'm realizing how wonderful the world actually can be and is. Like, we get very excited about the sun and it being warm on our skins, like something so simplistic. But it is like that half cup full, half cup empty theory. I think you can be overcritical of your life, and you will continue to be overcritical of it if you remain overcritical. Like, how could you possibly ultimately happy if you're always focusing on the things that make you unhappy? It's always something to learn and to be appreciative of in a situation. And I'm trying to step into that mindset more frequently, because I've noticed when I am, then more joyful and positive things are coming my way, you know? So this book is like a nice friendly reminder of that. I think it's also just a reminder of how like male-centered the world is, because this is something I've been thinking about a lot, and this is such a maybe non-issue to some, but when we talk about like humans and the race and whatever it is, we always refer to it as mankind, and it's such a male-centric comment, and so we always talk about he shall this, and he shall this, and he shall this, and it's like meant to be encompassing of everybody. But I've always felt really weird about that specifically, and at my philosophy class, my teacher actually, whenever he's speaking or talking about a quote that we're talking about, he rephrases it and says they to they shall, whatever it may be. So he actually gets rid of the man part, and I was so appreciative of that, because I was like, wow, that's something I've been thinking about. Like, why do we always refer to it as him or he instead of like not even just she, like them or they or we or humans? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, why do we always have to put in the man part? Like, at the end of the day, women created life to begin with. I need to go back to work and give you guys a little update on what I've been doing. Just really engaging back into things that I enjoy. And it's been really fun to draw again. I've actually forced myself to get uncomfortable with art that I might not love by creating it directly on a piece on our wall. Our poster fell down in the back piece I've been drawing on, and it's not necessarily art that I would say is magnificent, but it's encouraged me to kind of play around with it and not be so obsessed with what the art piece is going to look like in the end, and just like create for fun. And it's allowed itself to come together into quite a colorful piece. It's kind of random, but I kind of love it. So I want to keep doing that, just producing for the sake of producing, not producing for the sake of it to be good. I guess that also starts with just picking up the camera more.